here. Welcome back to another instalment of the happenings at the Daylesford Railway. I'm currently in my favourite machine, the high rail excavator. It's doing a bit of drain cleaning. One of the many important jobs to maintain our rail infrastructure. Up here in Daylesford, we get a lot of rain. So last thing we want is our track sitting in a swamp, because swamps equal mud pits, mud holes. We don't want any of them. So yeah, and obviously we're surrounded by a lot of trees, and the trees do a great job of dropping their leaves quite regularly and some bark, and it builds up in the drains, restricts the flow of water, creates moisture around our track, which we do not want. So yeah, if we're not blowing the leaves off the track, we're cleaning them out of the drains, and this is by far the perfect piece of equipment for the job. We sourced a local metal fabricator to custom design and build our own V bucket to suit our drains, and yeah, it certainly beats it doing it the old way. Before I rocked up and became involved with this railway, the guys would get on their little trolleys with some square mouth shovels, and they would manually clean out the drains by hand, which, yeah, massive job. So I have to admit, I've got it pretty good here. Got a radio heater, nice cab, I'm dry, warm, loving it. But anyway, enough about me.
Good morning everyone, and welcome to Beaufort. A bit out of the way from Daylesford, but here we are. And we're here with flat wagon Q56, which has been here for a number of years. And we've come over to inspect axle boxes in particular and axle journals, given that the journals on our Q wagon are in fairly poor state. So all being well, and from what we've seen this morning, the journals on this one are in quite reasonable condition. And we'll enter into negotiations with the owners of this wagon, and we'll see where it goes from there. Yeah, that's all right. A bit water stained, but nothing that'll polish out.
Hi, I'm Ian, volunteer here on the railway with our latest acquisition, Q56, which came to us from Beaufort. We are currently in the process of getting this ready for service. When it does go into service, it will be cutting all the rail that we've been cutting and drilling and stacking out the track. First thing we've done is take these pans off the bottom of the axle boxes, cleaned them, put new wool pads in, give them a big drink of oil. We've done 2, we've still got 6 to go, but luckily we've got enough wool pads nearly ready to go to finish that project off. What else can I tell you about this thing? This one, 56, entered service August of 1913, and we're recording this towards the end of August 2025, which means this very month it's celebrating its 112th birthday. Not a bad effort. Went into service here, as I say, 1913, withdrawn from service in May 79, which was a credible 66 years. So not a bad effort. We'll dive underneath, because I've got to show you a couple of things under there we need to have a look at while we've got it over the pit, and we'll continue on. All right, now we're underneath 56. And show you a couple of things we're going to look at into here. First thing is the brake gear, air brake gear. Everything here is air brake. Triple valve, brake cylinder, they're all going to be serviced before it can go back into service, tested, make sure everything's working. Put a release valve back in here, which has gone missing. And the other thing which we need to look at while we're under here is the handbrake, which is handbrake levers out here. All the mechanism runs up there. That's seized at the moment. So yeah, it's going to be a bit of fun trying to work that one out. I think there'll be lots of lubricant sprayed in there and hope for the best maybe. And yeah, we'll get that working again. The other thing we need to do is all these brake rods up here, which connect the bogies, they need to be reconnected because it was disconnected before it came here. So we'll sort that out. And yeah, have everything back working into here, hopefully very soon. Okay, go for a bit of a walk around, show you a few things on this while we're here, while the sun's out. Just noticed a bit of a ding on the corner here. 112 years old, I'm not going to complain. It's had might have had a hard life, but that's okay. All right, tie down rings, flashing rings, for tying down whatever. These were known for counting power poles and many other things. There are photographs of these with trucks and you name it, they've had them. They say it just, well, here would have said off reg in yellow, which meant it was taken off the rolling stock register and no longer available for service. And the yellow marks through the numbers and the letter, that was another indication that it was no longer fit for service. A lot of wagons copped that in the 70s. I remember as a young fella growing up, and they were everywhere, stored with that painted through them. Usually, next trip from there would have been into the scrapyard. This one got lucky and didn't go. Waybill clips, for some reason this one's got two. Normally there's only one, but who knows, for some reason it was the railways. Continuing along, markings, tear weight. Oh, metric and imperial. 974 was the last time it went through the workshops. You could just make out, was it about 678 MA, Matawa Mildura, somebody will know. That was for a brake examination, which is all the stuff underneath we've looked at. Handbrake, which we are going to fix. Load limits, sorry, 31 tonnes distributed, or 15 on the centre bolsters, which this hasn't got bolsters. We do have bolsters, which we may well fit to it. And continuing along, tow hook. If you don't have a locomotive or anything else to tow, you need to move it. Hook a cable or a very strong rope onto that, and you can tow it with a tractor, horse, whatever you've got at the time to get it around. We're near the end here. This was information for those who had to know. NBL, for memory, North Bendigo lift was, well, basically the examination into the workshops, lifted off its bogies and go over everything. DW was due workshops 9/79, so it would have been September 79, which it never got because it was drawn for service in May 79, so that never happened. And around the corner here is a bit of history. Hose bag, still marked. If Liam can get that. Victorian Railways with the date that it was installed. You can't make it out. It looks like about 8th. You can't work out what year it was. So we estimate this is probably 50 years old. And that's pretty much it. You can still see the holes. When these first came out, these did not have these couplers in them. They had the old hook couplers with chains and buffers. And this is the remnants of the buffers. Bolts went through there. Centre shaft went through there. But after they were removed, they just left the holes. And the railways, being the smart ones that they were, they used the bolt holes. Bolt the steps on. You'd have to drill new holes when you put new steps on. Pretty smart. And bottom lift auto coupler, which in true fashion doesn't really want to work too well. But there you go. That'll close, hopefully, and it works. So that's pretty much it. As I say, the other side's pretty much a copy of that side. And yeah, that's our new Q wagon. Okay, now we're down the bottom of the yard with our other Q wagon, 68, or 124 as it was when it came here, but I'll show you in a sec why I'm thinking 68. This one here needs a bit more work done to it. It's on the cards. It's going to get done. It's just a matter of getting the bits we need and enough time to get it up the other end and do what we've got to do to it. But it will run again, trust me. It'll be tidied up, painted like the other one will be. And fingers crossed, before long we'll have both of them out together on the track, cart and rail for us. All right, come this way, and I'll show you why I say it's 68, but potentially 124. Have a look. You can see, after I chip paint away off this, clearly see the 68. There is a 4, or remnants of a 4 in there, with the Q and a much larger Q, what's left of a larger Q. But the thing that throws it into confusion is when you come down here, stamped into the frame is 124. So if anybody knows definitively which one this is, be really, really happy to know, because it's, yeah, doing my head in trying to work it out. Let's say 124 stamped here, clearly see 168. The other side, you can see where the remains of what was 68. I've seen photos of 68 in service. Looks a lot like this one. I can't find any photos of 124. So, yeah. My theory is that at some point there's been an identity swap between 68 and 124. Maybe 124 was in worse condition. 68 was earmarked for scrapping. 124 was in poor condition. Swap identities over. And 68 becomes 124, 128, 68. And it went to scrap, and this is assume the identity of 124. Whether that's what happened or not, we don't know. From what records we've been able to find, yeah, there's no scrapping date for 124, sorry, but 68 was definitely scrapped in 1979. So which one is it? We don't know. We're still trying to find out, and we will find out for certain which one this one is. But until then, stay tuned. Good? Okay, well there you go. There's our 2 Q wagons, 124/68 and 56. Yeah, like I say, this one has got all the bolsters on it and may well stay on it. They may go onto the other one. We don't know yet. It's still being debated. So yeah, I'll wrap these two up with a bit of video with 56 being delivered to you.
For anyone who watched our last video update, you'll probably be aware that the Daylesford Railway was successful in the Tiny Towns grant application. We have wasted no time to start works. A local builder has started the fit out of the station master's office and prefabbed the water tank stand, which we have installed. In the restoration shed, Workman Sleeper 409 was finally treated to a new roof. The shiny new gal will certainly be a standout on the completed restoration project. DRC 40 has popped into the shed to have a few necessary jobs undertaken to keep it running, one of those being the replacement of a faulty air motor starter. Apart from the usual maintenance jobs, whether it be track work or gardening, we recently prepared for a local music festival, Winter Sounds. For the last 3 years, Winter Sounds Festival has had shows in the Daylesford region's intimate and cosy venues, one of those being the Bellado Hall. The Daylesford Railway played its part by transporting the festival goers to and from Bellado. The Y-Class with the N car set couldn't have been better suited to this task. Some railway members went to one of the shows being played. We saw the band Bad Dreams at the hall, and it was an awesome experience. I've seen this band before myself at another music festival. However, I never thought I'd see them play in a rural country town hall of Bellado. The crowd thoroughly enjoyed themselves, the show and the train ride. This festival is a huge positive input for the local tourist economy, and we look forward to its return in 2026. Alright, so that's it for another update at the Daylesford Railway. I'm just sitting up here on top of the newly installed roof on Workman Sleeper 409. It's come up an absolute treat. Really happy with the
overall finished product. Work's progressing at a steady pace, still continuing on with the cladding, some flashings inside. The ceiling paneling, the wall paneling has been done. It's probably about 75% complete. So things are progressing along quite well. Shout out to the people that did actually come to the railway after our last video. It's to come check it out and inquire about volunteering. Really positive feedback. Fantastic, thank you. And for anyone else, yeah, by all means, drop on in. Sundays are always good. Yeah, but apart from that, if you like what you've seen, be sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.